Here's to you, dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Metal Gear Monday's Revengeance, where you'll find your favorite conversations around Metal Gear and Kojima-related content delivered to you through tactical podcast action. Today's episode is going to be a what to expect or a sort of state of the podcast for 2021. And I certainly don't want to do this alone, so with me is Tori Cortez. How we doing?
I'm so good. I wouldn't dream of leaving you alone, Warren.
But also, we're joined by Chris Hampton. What's up, man?
Yo, how's it going? What's up?
Not much. So, 2020 is behind us.
Almost.
And I hope that that's a good thing. So, yeah, we just wanted to get sort of something out early on in the year just to be as upfront and transparent as we can, since that seems to be our brand, and I sort of like that. We obviously can't tell you guys what we're doing for the entire year, just because if 2020 taught us anything, we can't make promises we can't keep with everything going on. But the good news is that we have a lot of pre-production done that we basically can probably tell you the next 6 months, which is really cool. So we released our Portable Ops season teaser in early December, and that will be dropping pretty much early February, and it'll run all the way through the end of June, we'll just say. So it goes pretty much all the way through July. Same exact format as Metal Gear Solid 3. So we're going to do some gameplay and story-focused episodes. We are going to do character-focused episodes as well. However, I would like to say that there's as many sort of meaty characters in Portable Ops. But we're going to do basically like a good guys and a bad guys episode, so to break it down that way. And we actually had a great conversation with Ryan Payton, who sort of has a lifeblood as being producer and sort of helping with the westernization with Portable Ops, that he sort of dropped the bomb on us that he wants to come back for multiple conversations around the game. So we're actually going to drop those with the episodes. And just make it part of it as opposed to being like a separate interview. So you'll kind of get that there. Now, the good news is those are not the only interviews we've done, at least so far, and hopefully to continue that. Tor, do you want to talk about some other fun stuff we've been doing?
Yeah. Interviews galore, hopefully, for 2021. Keep your fingers crossed. At this juncture, we've recorded a few of them, and you can look forward to hearing those here and there. We have no set schedule for them, but as it works out and as it feels right for us to drop those, we will. And hopefully we'll get more scheduled here soon. I'm looking forward to and quite pleased to be getting back to this part of the show. So hope y'all are just as excited about that as I am.
Yeah. And that would actually be part of why we're going to do the Portable Ops season to drop in February. So we already have a couple of interviews we're going to introduce for January, just because I think something that we can all agree between our crew is they're recently recorded, and we don't want to sit on interviews for months and bring them out when it makes sense. So we're sort of using that to get them out as fresh so the conversations feel a little more timely. I think Fingers, just dropped the name of who we interviewed, but he's talking about the holiday break and things like that. So obviously that wouldn't make any sense in April. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we want to keep these tangy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tangy.
That's why we don't want to cook. Yeah.
I like that adjective.
It's not bad, especially for an interview. I like it. But yeah, so, and then also I think it's just pertinent that something we bring up is just, we know 2020 was like wild for everybody, and anybody that has been a listener through 2020, a lot of changes happened in 2020 between sort of a lot of changing of the guards, a revamp, like a reboot of the show. And, we just wanted to take the time to make sure that we were at least efficient and confident enough to give you guys a quality product, so that now our sea legs are sort of behind us and our boots are on the ground.
Hey, Warren.
Yeah.
Are we guards now? Is that what I heard?
I feel like we're the guards now.
Huh? What was that noise?
I'm so sorry. I have had a couple too many of these holiday white ales. I think I missed. That went right over my head until the punchline.
You're welcome.
But,
yes. So Patreon, I got to say the patrons have been like super supportive, and I will say that the feedback from the listeners and everybody, just with a lot of the changing over of everything, it is, just been super great to hear that. And we are planning on, getting back to making sure we can release timely, quality audio, organized. Just even if we like or don't like a game, we at least did our homework and explained to you why we do or do not like a particular video game in the Metal Gear Solid sort of saga. Mm-hmm. And with patrons, so we've been doing extra stuff for the patrons. We had some timed exclusive merch. So some merch you might see, guys, it might not make a lot of sense because sometimes it's inside jokes, but part of that was because if you were a member of Patreon for a certain time at a certain tier, you got free stuff. So I think we're going to try to do a little bit more towards the merch side as well.
Yes.
I got an interesting picture from Sean that if you listen to the MGS3 season,
Lord.
You kind of all saw it coming.
On merch.
Yes, absolutely we are. We already promised that at the end of the Subsistence season.
Y'all are nuts.
Look, all I'm saying is it includes me, and I won't say how else, but
just
look
for that look for that at bit.ly/MGM store.
Yeah, I have no shame. I don't care. So I'm just accepting it now. But yeah, feel free to give that a look. But as far as Patreon and stuff, Chris, do you have any fun stuff you want to bring up, at least as far as some new Patreon stuff?
Nope.
Ever the precocious one.
Yeah, so we got a few things, I suppose. If you're in the Discord, if you got the monthly game club and patrons vote on a game that we all play through as a group. December 2020 was Final Fantasy VI. We are about to have our discussion on that as of this recording. So if you want to hop in on that, make sure you sign up on the Patreon so you can join the Discord. And because of the popularity of this, we're going to start doing a movie club. MGM Goes to the Movies. So we'll set up a watch party and release a monthly episode based on the movie that is picked by patrons in the Discord. If the movie is adjacent to a Kojima thing or on one of those like favorite film lists of his, or we feel it might be a solid influence on Metal Gear design or story or something like that, we plan to release these in the main feed. But otherwise, they'll just mainly be for patrons.
Yeah, and then we're still doing our bi-weekly PCs on the off weeks and just trying to find ways to engage. I hope everyone enjoyed the trivia episode that we recently dropped. I just like finding different ways to engage with people that really help support us, because honestly, without the patrons, it would have been a rough year last year. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
very, very much.
Thank you, patrons.
But yeah, so we just wanted to get something out real light and just so that everybody knows what's coming. So like I said, we dropped some teasers, we dropped some stuff, we had mentioned things are going on, but this is basically our accountability podcast that we can at least let you guys know. So we're going to, so Portable Ops will be dropping early February all the way through June with some fun stuff sprinkled in between. We have some interviews that we've either already booked and had conversations around or are already booked, and we'll drop them as they are timely released. And we have a bunch of fun stuff for the patrons, and we are taking feedback. So I do feel like a lot of that listener feedback of sort of rebooting the show was a concept, a chronological piece was a concept, more engagement around. So something like that, like we do more streams and watch parties like through Discord, which is like super helpful because sometimes, personally, I'm an old guy in a sense, but Twitch scares me right now with all the DMC nonsense, and I just don't want to put that on us and patrons to have to deal with that when we have a platform that we can engage and have a good time with, our own means. And it's worked for us so far, so we just want to keep building on that. So if more people get involved, it's just more opportunities to do more for the people that support the show. But I feel good. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's nice to have the first season done, 2020 behind us, And at least as far as me, I'll say that 2021 at least looks a little brighter just because we had a lot of time to play the game, take the notes, have conversations about it, get a schedule plan that made a lot of sense for us so that everything's timely and stress-free, and that we can have more fun to do other stuff like that isn't just necessarily the mainline feed episodes. We can do more stuff with patrons and social media and engagement and things like that. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for that.
Agreed.
Yep.
So yeah, this will be our first 2021. I think it's time to let it rip, Jack.